Later tonight, we might hear some rocking and rolling in the Dome as the Syracuse Orange are going to play against the Clemson Tigers.
So we are staying at the same hotel as the University of Syracuse football team.
That's correct.
I was in the elevator with some of them this morning. I did not get the most confident vibe.
It's early. The coach hasn't given them the pep talk yet. That's all. Give him a little time there, boss. Now, here we go with Ari. A Crystal Vein.
Yes.
A lot of people might not even know that card, so we're going to bring it up a lot of cards.
All-time banger.
Yep.
All-time banger. Taps for a colorless, tap and sack for 2.
There it is. From Mirage.
An important piece of tech in the Hatred days because you wanted to have enough 2-mana lands, but this one worked very naturally with your curve and didn't cause any sort of issue alongside Hatred, unlike both City of Traders and Ancient Tomb.
Very smart. Very smart. Old school Patrick here. We're going to see a Street Wraith be cycled. It was Faithful Student to get things started. Golgari Thug looks like what is going to be dredged here in just a moment, I believe. So let's put 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 cards in the graveyard. And there is Hogak. Okay.
Yeah, I've run into Hogak in both dredge decks and in some sort of Mox Diamond land combo style decks as well.
All right, cycle Street Wraith just to draw a card will Nicholas Owen. Now remember, this is a deck that I believe is also playing Lion's Eye Diamond, and it is because you can play that, discard your hand, and flashback Faithless Looting.
We got 8 Lion's Eye Diamonds in this match.
Yeah, okay. All right, so Ari is going to sacrifice his Crystal Vein. Oh, he did some serum powdering. That's why all those cards are exiled. Let's see what this is. That's Mystic Forge.
And now
boy.
Has a mana to work with. He does have Metalcraft now for the Opal.
Yep. So here's your 4-mana namesake card. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast the top card of your library if it's an artifact card or a colorless non-land card, which is what Ari's deck is full of. You can pay a life to exile the top card of your library. You mentioned that he does have a mana available to also use that Voltaic Key to untap the Mystic Forge if he wants to. But he was able to play Mystic Forge on turn 2 after exiling a whole bunch of cards from the Serum Powders, and he's actually going through the Serum Powder piles, and he'll just pass the turn back. So I have to imagine the next turn is going to be a good one, but that assumes that he's going to get another turn, as it looks like Street Wraith is going to be exiled to the very powerful Icarid. We're going to bring up plenty of cards for you here this weekend. For those of you who are new to this old school format of Legacy.
Love the Street Wraiths in Owen's list. I sometimes see the dredge list without them. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, because it's just all about your opening hand anyway. From there you play from the top, and the ceiling on the draws that it enables there, super good.
Cephalid Coliseum is the land for the turn. Icarid's going to come across here for 3. There are some fun things you can do with Icarid post-combat, most notably flashing back Cabal Therapy, which requires you to sacrifice a creature. You sacrifice the Icarid to do that. You might be making a token there with Bridge from Below as well, as Nicholas Owen is going to tap the Coliseum for some mana along with the City of Brass to play a Golgari Thug. Not the most exciting of plays, but now Cabal Therapy will be sacrificed. Going to target Ari. We'll see what Nicholas is going to name here in just a moment. And I do believe there's a Bridge from Below in the graveyard. Now Street Wraith is going to be placed on top of the deck with the Thug's text.
Oh my goodness!
Let's call that a combo. Sort of.
Have not seen that one before.
No. This dredge deck a little different than your classic dredge deck that you see in Modern. The name was Karn the Great Creator. That's the whiff. There's your Justin Parnell zombie token from the Thug dying and triggering Bridge from Below, also banned in Modern.
I'm not a huge fan of naming Karn the Great Creator there, because I think you would have seen it from Lax's last turn instead of the Mystic Forge, but also, hard to know exactly what else you're supposed to name.
The Icarid dies, another zombie token. Now, Ari's going to activate his Mystic Forge. Let's get that Inventor's Fair out of here. He'll take a look at the next card. Keep in mind, Lax has not played a land just yet.
It's got a lot of mana to work with here.
It's got a decent amount of life to work with as well. If we can get that updated, we of course will.
Well, you got to figure that if with the Ancient Tombs as your mana source and what Owen has on the battlefield now, with the Cephalid Coliseum, reasonable chance you do not get to untap if you get another turn here.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
Not a lock. Not every build of Dredge has some sort of combo woven in to accelerate the kill by a turn. Some of them are just on Bridge from Below and Icarids. If that's the case, you might have one more turn. But if I'm Lax, I'm trying to play the spot if possible, assuming that you need to do everything right now.
Well, Lax looks like he wants to tap some mana for something. He's going to use Mox Opal to untap his Mystic Forge. Let's get rid of this card. There goes an Ancient Tomb. He's got to pay a life to do that. Let's see what the next card is here. He hasn't had the opportunity to really start chaining off all that well, so he'll play another Ancient Tomb, and now there is Karn the Great Creator. Karn's going to minus, I imagine, and it will. I have no idea what he's going to search for now.
He has Tormod's Crypt in his sideboard.
Well, there is Tormod's Crypt. All right.
So from this position, you can use your Tormod's Crypt on Owen's graveyard to get almost certainly get another turn that way. You're down your Karn most likely through combat, but then Lax can refuel from there with the Mystic Forge alongside a lot of mana.
Well, if I'm Owen, I can't let that thing live. I'm sure it's kind of enticing to say, you know what, I can attack you down to 5, and your mana is based off of Ancient Tombs.
Yeah, but going to 1 and getting a Lattice or an Ensnaring Bridge or what have you.
Something better, yeah, could be very dangerous. So Owen's going to cycle a Street Wraith to start. He's down to 11. Remember, Lax has used Serum Powder a couple of different times this game during the mulliganing phase, as here is a Faithless Looting. So Owen will draw 2 cards. He'll discard Golgari Grave Troll and Icarid. Golgari Grave Troll, another card that is banned in Modern. Illegal here, as there is a copy of Mana Confluence. Land number 3 here for Nicholas Owen. Beatdown's going to take care of Karn. No real surprise there. Now we head back over to Lax, and let's see if he can really get something rolling here. He'll look at the top card. Forge will go active again, so that's another whiff, as there goes City of Traders. He's going to fall down to 8. Lax is going to use Mox Opal for white mana. That is another Mox, okay. What can he do now? He will float potentially more mana. He's gonna looks like he's gonna use the 2 for Chalice on 1. Go a little bit further. Inventor's Fair is the land for the turn, and he will simply pass the turn back, maybe with the intention of activating the Inventor's Fair. We'll have to see.
So even if Lax does not die from the spot, at risk of just being locked out of tapping his Ancient Tombs.
Very, very good point. Narcomoeba was going to come in from the Dredge here. And Nickerid got returned from the graveyard, exiling the Street Wraith, so it's a pretty clean attack here for 7. Lax is going to go down to 1. And these Ancient Tombs may no longer be useful, as Nicholas Owen's just going to pass the turn back. So,
yeah, even the Inventor's Fair trigger gets you up to 2, so you can't tap the Ancient Tombs. But 2 is a magic number here in that it gives you 1 clear with the Mystic Forge.
Sure. That says that Icarid's got to go away, please and thank you.
So he's down to an effective 2 mana from this spot.
Tough sledding here for Lax, because he's going to move those Ancient Tombs pretty far over, knowing he can't use those. Can use the Mox and the Inventor's Fair. You wonder what resources he's exiled away with the Serum Powders. There goes a Chalice of the Void. And there's a Lotus Petal. Here is a Lion's Eye Diamond, working towards a little something, but he's sitting at 1.
Lion's Eye Diamond, very powerful in this deck alongside Karn, the Great Creator. It just gives you a huge burst of mana where you can activate Karn, in response, sacrifice your Lion's Eye Diamonds, and get the lattices out ahead of schedule. City
of Traders is the land he may play this turn.
So again, he doesn't get a wash.
That's Karn. Oh, is that's... That should... Well, he can keep going. He can keep going. Gonna break LED. Yep, now minus Karn, probably go get Bridge.
Yep, he's got 2 Ensnaring Bridges in the sideboard and, possibly 1 exiled via Serum Powder as well.
Yep.
Is there an out in Nicholas's deck to a game 1 Ensnaring Bridge plus implied Hellbent? I don't believe there is.
I don't believe there is either. There is the bridge past the turn back. Looks a little modern-esque, kind of like a Lantern-esque or Wurza-esque strategy. I guess the trick is somehow to make Ari Lax draw cards, but you're not going to find modern staple Conflagrate. I think that's worth noting.
Yeah, I mean, Ari not being able to maintain an empty hand in this spot seems really unlikely. He's going to go to 2 every turn from the Mystic Forge. That gives him the ability to get 1 wash there with the Chalice, and it's really hard for him to not be able to play what he's drawing in that spot.
Well, there are 6 cards that are going to be dredged. Another Narcomoeba is going to be placed on the battlefield. It's important for Ari to make sure he has no cards in hand, because Narcomoebas could slide across.
Right. It's got to be actual hellbent. He can't, you know. But if he can keep it up, I don't think Owen can get out.
And we can't forget, too, that Ari does have an active Karn on the battlefield, so he'll be able to find something to eventually win the game with. So Ari has drawn a card for the turn. I assume he's remembered his Inventor's Fair trigger, and he has, as he's gone up to 2. He's got access to 2 colorless mana now with the City of Traders. He'll look through his Exile Zone, because remember, Karn the Great Creator allows you to go through cards that have been exiled as well from the Serum Powders. Cute little combo there. Karn's going to go down to 1. He's got 2 mana floating.
He can play Lattice here through the pedal.
Yep. Well, he doesn't even need the pedal, right? 2 floating, tap City of Traders for 2. You got Inventor's Fair for a mana, and then the Mox.
Right, he's got an Opal, yeah.
So he can do it that way. All right, there's Lattice. So, all permanents are artifacts, and we are done. So, it looked difficult there for a while, but Ari Lax is going to win game number 1 here over Nicholas Owen. Mystic Forge combo is up a game here over Dredge. Ari in the What We'd Play column this week said this deck is total nonsense, and I can certainly see how it can be pretty busted at times, able to win that first game.
Yeah, he wasn't even really humming off the Mystic Forge there initially. It was a bit dry early on, but once he got his mana and started rolling off some lands and a couple of good zeros, was able to establish a lock in short order.
To the sideboards we're going to go. We'll start with Nicholas Owen, who's got 4 Leyline of the Void, 3 Serenity. Now, is that a... that's the 2 mana enchantment?
Yes.
Well, remind me? This is why you're here. Oh,
man,
no.
hold on.
Buddy.
Is it a Seal of Cleansing style card?
Ish. We'll get to that in a minute. It's coming in. 2 Silent Gravestone, 2 Nature's Claims, 2 Lotus Petals, a Dread Return, and an Ashen Rider. What do we like there?
Probably the Ashen Rider, the Dread Return, and the 2 copies of Nature's Claim. Ways to break up some artifacts, and then, just another answer to Ensnaring Bridge.
Other side of things here for Ari, 4 Tormod's Crypts, those are obvious. 2 Thought-Knot Seers, 2 Ensnaring Bridge, 2 Defense Grid, 5 One-Ofs and Liquid Metal Coating, Walking Ballista, Ratchet Bomb, Mycosynth Lattice, and a Manifold Key, which is the newer version of Voltaic Key.
So, I think I would bring in 3 Tormod's Crypts and leave 1 as a Karn target. Same with Ensnaring Bridge, leave 1 in the sideboard, but bring in the additional 1. I also like Walking Ballista as a way to both manage the battlefield and give Ari a way to break up Bridge from below.
May not have time to search for Walking Ballista.
Might not.
Might just want to bring it
Might want to just bring it in. Yep.
All right, folks, we're going to get to Serenity in just a moment. But first, let's get to the StarCityGames.com weekly sale where you can save hundreds on singles through Monday, like Opalescence, Liliana Vess, I had a moment there, Restore Balance, and an oldie.
Thawing Glaciers.
But a goodie in Thawing Glaciers.
A defining card of 1995-96 Magic.
Go to StarCityGames.com/sale for more information. You might as well just bookmark the page because we update the sale every Monday at 11 a.m. East Coast time. Save big on hundreds of singles through Monday. Back to the match. Serenity now! Serenity now. If we don't have it, I'm going to be upset because I built this whole entire call to say Serenity now. Surprised you don't remember this card.
I am too.
I'm a little disappointed in you.
I mean, lately my brain's just been leaking out of my ears. So what's one more thing?
Oh, buddy.
What's one more thing? Can we get Okay. Yep.
Duh.
Yeah.
It includes this one. You lose this
Right.
one too. This is coming in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And it will be good if it shows up,
And
presumably.
remember that those artifacts cannot be regenerated.
Because it says bury.
Bury them.
Bury. Old school text there. Now bury is
Destroy can't be
regenerate.
right.
And not exile.
It's early Magic templating.
We're going to get a nice mix of new templating and old templating today.
Love it.
Right?
I love it.
Right? Should be pretty good. One thing to keep in mind here, folks, because Throne of Eldraine is on the way, we have got plenty of cards to talk about. We're going to do at least one card every round. Patrick and I will do one after all of our rounds. Brian Gottlieb and Craig Krempels will do one at the end of all of their rounds as well. Gottlieb and Krempels are certainly going to want to talk about Once Upon a Time, a card that Brian Gottlieb is very fond of. Wrote about this week over at StarCityGames.com. You can read that article along with Ari Lax's stuff and what we play, which is also a premium article over at StarCityGames.com. Become a Star City Games premium member today and receive instant access to these exclusive benefits. You get the best content on the web for MTG. Ari, Brian, Jerry T, Patrick Chapin, the list goes. Brad Nelson, Todd Anderson, Chaz Andres and his lovely financial columns, Autumn Burchett.
I like Chaz's writing a lot.
Chaz's writing is great.
I enjoy reading what he writes.
You get an ad-free experience, which I know everybody cares about in 2019, and you get 5% discount on all SCG purchases. Go.starcitygames.com/premium. Sign up today, become a member, and a little spoiler, we got some more people joining the team here pretty soon as we work ourselves a little bit deeper into September. Once Throne of Eldraine gets released. I can't forget, too, newest member of the squad, Paulo Vitor Damaderosa.
Of course.
A pretty smart guy.
Yes.
Pretty smart guy. For my money, though, and I'm putting this out there. My favorite writer on their staff, it's Ari. He's got the perfect blend of aggressiveness, humor, and intelligence
And insight.
Yes.
And I appreciate that Ari is definitely not adverse to exploring unorthodox decks. I think that a lot of pro Magic players, former Pro Tour champions, they come to an event like this, they're just going to play some Delver deck or some Renin 6 deck. Ari's actually willing to iterate with some of the more esoteric strategies of the format, iterate on them, and play something very outside the box.
Little serum powder action there from Ari. So he's taken at least one, we'll call it in quotes, free mulligan. How's that sound?
Well, with Karn, it's also free mulligan / implied 14-card hand.
Sure. Ari looked like he did quite a bit of serum powdering in the last game. And serum powder maybe gets a little bit better with the new mulligan rule. Maybe it doesn't.
I mean, it's sort of the mulligan rule is really good for decks that are inclined to play Serum Powder in the first place. I don't know if there's a cumulative effect of the mulligan plus Serum Powder really impacting things, but if you're the type of deck that likes to London mulligan down to 4 or 5 cards in a lot of games, you probably are in the market for this card also.
You know what side that card's from?
Darksteel?
There he is. All right, he's back. Had a little difficulty with Serenity, but yeah, that is a Darksteel one.
Yeah.
A Lion's Eye Diamond and a City of Brass here for Nicholas Owen to kick off game number 2. Little strange not to see him do anything on the first turn, though.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure about that, because Lion's Eye Diamond might just lead to a second turn where he just goes.
Yeah. May have a copy of Nature's Claim in hand or something to actually do something with, as Ari is not entirely sure what he wants to do. He'll start with a Crystal Vein. That's a Mox Opal. This is a Lotus Petal. That is a Lotus Petal. Gonna use the Mox. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Not hard to do.
Yep.
Activate this. Goodbye, Ancient Tomb. Pass the turn back.
Good spot for Nature's Claim.
It would be a really good spot for Nature's Claim. Bong! That's a beating.
Yeah. Ari had a lot of eggs in that basket.
Ari will gain 4 life, though.
Yeah.
So
fair exchange.
Don't forget about that. The fact that this deck can play Mystic Forge on turn 1 is pretty crazy. Not hard for it to do at all.
Yeah, 12 lands that make 2 mana here in Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, and Crystal Vein, along with opals and petals.
Only going to cycle a Street Wraith, play another City of Brass to go along with the first one, and Lion's Eye Diamond take a little bit of damage from the new City of Brass. And now here's a careful study. With that on the stack, he's going to break the LED. There goes Stinkweed Imp and Gemstone Mine. So, got 3 red floating. Good choice of color, given that Faithless Looting is a 4 of in this deck. Let's dredge 5, shall we? A Gemstone Mine, a Lion's Eye Diamond, a Putrid Imp, a Bridge from Below, and a Golgari Grave Troll.
Would really love to hit a Faithless Looting here to keep it going.
3, 4, 5, 6. And the last one is a Faithless Looting. So that last card has been kind for our dredge player both times.
Plus a Cabal Therapy, some bridges. This is the shape of a really big turn here for Owen.
Nicholas Owen is going to spread out that graveyard a little bit. There's at least one Cabal Therapy like Patrick mentioned, and at least one Bridge from Below. Faithless Looting is now going to be flashed back. So, will Lax have a response? I can't imagine that he will. So we'll dredge 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Showing off Serenity now. Lax has got to be a little bit wary of those. Now we'll dredge 5 and Stinkweed Imp. 2, 3, 4, 5. Narcomoeba will now enter the fray. Icarid among the cards that have been placed into the graveyard. Don't think we saw the Hogak down there. Keep in mind there is only one Hogak in the graveyard, but again, we do know that there's Cabal Therapies, plural, in the graveyard, and at least one Bridge from Below. So now Nicholas Owen is going to sacrifice Cabal Therapy. Excuse me, he'll play Cabal Therapy, sacrifice Narcomoeba. How many zombies we're going to get? Just one, so only one Bridge from the Below down there. And he's got to name a card with this Cabal Therapy, one of the most skill-intensive cards in Magic history.
I would probably go with an Ensnaring Bridge here. Very possible it could be in Lax's hand, and he elected to play the Mystic Forge last turn, and still a pretty threatening card here from Owens' perspective. You're kind of guessing anyway.
I can't imagine this is a deck that Nicholas Owen is too familiar with playing against. Karn the Great Creator was the name, and that's a hit. Lax's hand has 2 Inventor's Fairs. That's it. The Mox Opal is not on right now, and the Lotus Petals is only source of mana as Lax will draw a card.
The Lax is in some very serious trouble. No real mana, no engine.
He needed the Mystic Forge to stick. It did not. And so now we're going to see Icarid come back from the graveyard. And now we'll dredge 6. Narcomoeba among those cards. Another copy of Serenity. Already picking up a little bit of information with these dredges. Another Icarid also placed in the graveyard right now. Here comes the beatdowns. It's going to be 6 that Nicholas Owen attacks for. Lax is going to fall down to 17. The good news here for Lax is that he's got a little bit of life to work with. That's about the only good news. Icarid will be sacrificed. Zombie token past the turn back. So Cabal Therapy will not be flashed back there by Nicholas Owen. Will that come back to hurt him? It's a Crystal Vein. Lax will just pass the turn back once again. Owen now is going to bring back at least one Icarid.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way for him to get a turn off the clock.
Actually, it doesn't look like he will. Maybe no black cards to remove. He went straight to his draw step. A little surprised by that. Attack here for 6.
I mean, Ario actually might get 2 turns out of this.
Right?
Owens' clock here quite slow for as much action as he's done so far.
Now here's Cabal Therapy. The whiff. Ari says it doesn't matter what you name. He named Mystic Forge. Didn't hit. Lax has access to 4 mana right now. He's going to play Ancient Tomb. That is... Ooh. Well then. Pretty good draw there for Ari Lax. He'll take 2 to cast it. Looks like he's going to fall down to 9.
But not empty-handed, so the Narcomoeba at the minimum will get an attack in.
Gets to poke on in, yeah.
We'll see here if Owen just wants to take, at this point, a natural draw step to try to find a Nature's Claim.
Might be time to start doing that, yeah.
Serenity as well would be excellent here.
You take a look at the sideboard numbers. He does have 2 Nature's Claims and 3 Serenities. We know he's already cast a Nature's Claim. We know he's already dredged through 2 Serenities. Those stick out. Actually, all 3 Serenities. You can see the 3 white cards in the graveyard.
Yep.
So all 3 Serenities are gone. Lax with one heck of a top deck there. Let's see what this is. That's a Faithless Looting. That can get you deeper. Don't think he's dredged by the other Nature's Claim. Now, it's also entirely possible that Ashen Rider is in the deck,
Plus
along with the Dread Return.
Yep, that's a way to get out of this, too.
But for now, Owen can just attack for 1 with an Archimeve and pass the turn back over to Lax. Lax should gain a life with that Inventor's Fair. If he remembered, we, of course, won't bring it to his attention. You see Craig Krempels there next to Ari Lax. He's a curious observer. Mox will play Voltaic Key. And Lax not going to play the other Inventor's Fair because it is a legendary land. So he would lose the one that he has in the battlefield.
Wants to tutor with the Inventor's Fair probably this turn to unlock, but no reason to put a second card in your hand when you're worried about getting attacked by zombies.
And that's exactly what he's going to do. He'll use the Ancient Tomb, the Crystal Vein for mana, and sacrifice the Lotus Petal to go get a Mystic Forge and get this engine online. His Mox is on as he falls down to 6. Don't forget, Lax is a very accomplished Magic player. We don't see him a lot here on the SCG Tour, but he is the Pro Tour Khans of Tarkir champion. He's won a Grand Prix in Toronto, countless Grand Prix top 8s. He's done a lot in his Magic career. And he's going to play Inventor's Fair. He'll take 2 to deploy it. There's a Mystic Forge. Let's take a look at that top card. He'll play a Lion's Eye Diamond. Not a bad hit. Next one.
A lot of mana, plus he can get to Hellbent at a moment's notice.
Mox Opal. Let's keep it going. He'll sack the LED. Here's another Mystic Forge. They don't work poorly in multiples. He is empty-handed. And he'll just pass the turn back, hoping his bridge survives another turn. Looks like Bridge from Below was the draw there for Nicholas Owen. Done.
Done. Taps out.
Done, done, done. Ari Lax going to win this game and match here over Nicholas